They're getting to roll. Here we go. We're going to roll 12 of them out here on the racetrack. Get ready to fire them off for 20 laps, 8 miles, as he talked about here on Pit Road TV and live right now. I'd like to welcome all the people watching on Facebook, on Pit Road TV's social media page. My name is Terry Radford, joined alongside Tony Stevens. You are watching New River All-American Speedway, and this is the Champ Karts, 8 miles, 20 laps. We'll set it here, and I promise you, if you're watching on Pit Road TV, you see it down there below you, or on Facebook, pitroad.tv. Get your subscription. You can catch a lot of these races for the Carolina Pro Late Model Series, the crate mods. Any race we catch with the Champ Karts, you can catch that on demand at pitroad.tv. They're going to catch the pace car right here in turns 3 and 4, as the pace car did not deploy on the first one. Flagman's going to give us the 1 to go signal, and we're going to get ready to go racing here this afternoon for race number 1 of 5 shows that we will give you here this afternoon. The lineup is fun. I can't stress this enough. Wow, what a gorgeous pace car. We'll say that. I wonder if I can get that. Pace car will be gorgeous. But our lineup here this afternoon, which is still probably the best idea for the lineup. I had it in my hand and then I got it. Champ Karts, Carolina Pro or Carolina Crate Modifieds will race second with 62 laps. The Bombers will race for 25, and then you'll see the Carolina Pro Late Model Series 100 laps, and then the U-Car will come out for the finale in 30 laps. So, as we reset it here, you see Eubanks will hold the P1 spot. We're going to get ready to take the green flag this time by. Flagman has it in the hand. We'll go 20 laps for race number 1 of 5 here at New River All-American Speedway. Pace car's off. Field is in the hands of Josh Eubanks in the number 28E. You see them packed up. They'll stay packed up the whole time through there. Green flags in the air. We're racing for 20 laps. We'll wait for the cars to get up to speed. One car goes up the banking, but it's not going to change what the first couple rows look like. Oh! 2 on the sides they go. That is the number 20 machine. That is going to be Herbert Keaton. That will be the one that goes on the side, and the other one is hidden by the barricades. We'll get these carts flipped over and get them rolling as the caution flag waves. Did not get a lap completed. Field dumbles up behind the Dodge Charger pace car. Caution, number 1. Carts are stopping on the back straightaway as we try to get carts flipped back over.
Yeah, we'll wait to make sure all drivers are okay in that one, Terry. That one started out of turn 2. One of the carts got hooked. It appeared in the right rear. And if you don't know much about these Champ Karts, they're the weight distribution on them is rather interesting. They're designed to turn left. The driver is offset very far to the left. They have tiny tires on the left side and big tires on the right side. Headset that falls off your head even. It's kind of like that.
It kind of perfectly demonstrates it.
And perfect.
And if people go back and watch our Daytona Kart Week coverage, you can see one of these Champ Karts that raced there that weekend on the road course side of things.
And that's the other thing. These Champ Karts, you see that cage on them, and you don't think about it. One of the things that's very important to a go-kart is the flexibility of the chassis. And sometimes they get sideways, and you see certain karts, you can kind of bicycle or do whatever to kind of get back sorted out. But see one driver on the back straightaway appears to be out of the cart, and the other one looks like up on the racetrack is still in the cart. Helmet coming off, waiting on the okay, but looks like they'll be climbing out here momentarily. I believe that was the 20 of Keaton that may have went for the initial, or at least one of the rides. Who the other driver is in the bottom, I'm not 100% sure, but it appears that driver also out of their cart. But I was going to say, the cages on these carts, Terry, they stiffen them up a lot. So sometimes those carts may be able to flex and bend. Those cages make it a little harder to flex and bend, and sometimes you'll see them react that much quicker because of that.
Looks like when the cart got picked over the well, that looked like Keith Webb in the number 18 machine from Spring Lake, North Carolina, was one of the drivers that was caught in this incident. You see them trying to start the cart right there of Keaton. That is the number 20 machine. He gets to roll in there, the red, white, and blue painted 20. Go back around potentially to pull that thing to pit road. Didn't want to get out of the cart. So we'll take a look at the replay here. That'll be on that's our replay. You see here as they're driving. Checkup happens. 82 hooks. 30 gets it, and then the 18 just loses it on his own. And the weight distribution, like Tony talked about, made that go over and in. But you see the checkup right here. The 10 comes down into the 20. And then the 82 had nowhere to go in the checkup as he was getting a punt from the 30. The 20 is going to get hooked right there. You see it in the slow-mo shot. Oh, around it goes, and the 30 makes minor contact there. Not a whole lot. And then the 18, it would be the 18 of Keith Webb, just goes over trying to avoid it and turn it in there. And luckily for the 44 of John Ottaway, gets through unscathed right up the middle. But quick deployment from our track officials as they were quick onto the scene. That was your replay. Still have the 28E of Eubanks holding P1 position.
Yep, and they'll get lined back up here momentarily. The Receiver, a new feature they're using here at the new River All-American Speedway. At least I was told they were trying to. I know there was some pushback from some of the drivers, and these are the situations that Receiver saves your lifetime. So I guarantee you some of those drivers back there going, man, we should have been lined up. Yeah. Have that Receiver on, you should have been lined up, no doubt. So they'll get them all sorted out, but good to see that being adopted here as it is many places around the country. It really is the standard, Terry, and if you're not familiar with what a Receiver is a one-way radio device. It's literally smaller than a flip phone, for those of you that remember flip phones. For those of you that are less than 20 years of age, Mom and Dad might have to tell you what a flip phone is.
Way to age yourself.
I was a late adopter of the smartphone, okay? Nonetheless, the Receiver not very big. It's about the size of a common flip phone back in the day, and you put on your helmet or your suit or whatever. You have some earbuds that go in your ear, and Race Control has a one-way communication channel to you, the driver, to say, hey, caution's out. There's an accident in turn 2, or hey, cart 37, you go ahead of cart 91. And it helps your lineup done. Or a cart 22, you're dragging your muffler or your bumper or whatever. So it really helps make the show much more efficient, does the Receiver. And I'm sure with the encouragement of fans and those with experience that Receiver will be adopted en masse by the drivers of these champ carts and many other divisions here at the New River All-American Speedway.
Well, we had a funny conversation before we ever went on the air about those said receivers, as we have 60 viewers tuned into our live stream here this afternoon.
And I want to say hi to Andy Beavers, by the way.
South Florida.
Yeah.
Or Georgia.
North Florida, South Georgia. Pick one.
Pick one. Where are we at? where are we at? Are we in North Florida or South Georgia? Because if you're in South Georgia, let me know where you're at. When I drive back up, we'll you can wave at me as I go on the interstate there on I-95 if you're in that region. We'd like to welcome all the people who are tuned in. Big fans of what you fans are doing here. If you haven't got your subscription yet and you are on the Facebook live feed, well, you see it right there at the bottom of your screen. PitRow.tv catches you on demand and live races for 30 days. And you can renew your subscription with us as well. You can catch all the Carolina Pro Late models. You can catch the Sportsman Series where you can see the awesome deployment of our onboard camera that we have.
There's all kinds of cool stuff.
There's a lot of cool stuff that you can catch on PitRow.tv. Wonderful thing as you see carts are rolling, and that's what we like to see. We'll get that green flag here soon. and we'll get ready to go. Welcome back to the racetrack. Who can hear us now? You missed some good banter back and forth about the race monitor.
Well, while we're at, I want to say hi to William Cannon from Hugo, North Carolina. He's tuned in on the New River All-American Speedway Facebook page. And if you can say that 5 times fast without slipping, we'll give you a free cheeseburger. Just kidding.
Well, let's say I'm not going to get a free cheeseburger because I mess up names. And if you're watching in this area and you're within a distance to come to the racetrack, come on. And that's the Lake City area for Andy Beavers. North Florida, South Georgia, you tell me where it is. And Jeff Webb, we agree. It should be mandatory. It is about safety and time saving on the racetrack for you to get your receiver in so you can communicate, the tower can communicate to you properly.
You know, and I got to give Anthony Goodyear and company props for this because they're trying to get ahead of this, right? They had some issues that facilitated really trying to find a solution for this, and that solution was there, and they've worked to implement it. And ultimately, you know, it's one of those deals where, like you said, it's about safety. It's about a lot of different things. But at the end of the day, it makes everybody's life easier. And they've got a great program. Like, the receiver itself is only like $100. You can lease one to own it, 0% financing, like $25 a week, they told me. So they're making it as easy as they can to not break these guys' budgets as we get set to go racing. And try this one more time.
Yeah, I always tell you what's super, super easy is the green flag comes back out. The 2080 of Eubank still holds it. The 85 of Lind still holds in P2. You see a 2-cart breakaway, and then you see a pack of 4 right here. The tandem drafting is like what you would have seen at Talladega years ago. Potentially when a Clint Boyer or a Kevin Harvick won, or a Jamie McMurray got pushed to a win a long time ago. Eubank's now Keaton moves himself into P2 in the number 10 machine. It's a single cart line. I almost said car. It's human nature here. But the cart line, the first car to the outside is Grasso in the number 30 as he slides up the racetrack. The 82 of Hunter looked underneath the 85 of Lind, but could not make that pass happen. And kind of reminds me of maybe Talladega Nights, so slingshot engaged. We'll see some of that here this afternoon as well, as here comes the 10 looking for the slingshot potentially to get underneath, checks the 85 up, and the 10 of Keaton could not get under the 28E of Eubanks. And we're back to single file, tandeming around here, and now we'll try the outside for the first time to make a pass. And side drafting in carts, I don't know if that's a thing. We'll have to ask Tim Terry if he's watching.
Trust me. So we took you to Daytona Kart Week last week or last year for the sprint course, but not the oval. We've got a lot to teach you about go-karts on an oval track, especially one this big. There's a lot of aero in play. Believe it or not, something that small, aerodynamics really matter.
We will learn the kart side of things as the tandem for the race lead hasn't went away. Coming to 15 laps to go. They have pulled on P3, and there's no drafting help from Lind to Hunter here. We'll see if that potentially changes, but Eubanks might have the car to beat. And if you're watching us on Facebook, on Pit Road TV, on New River All-American Speedway, wherever we're streaming, hit the share button. You know, share it with your friends, share it to your pages. Here comes the battle for the race lead again. The 10 of Keaton, he's going to look under there. The 28E of Eubanks is going to play defense. Into the corner they go. Turns 1 and 2, that is. Down the back straightaway. Look at that run from the 10. I think they're playing nice with each other, the North Carolina natives. Just minding their P's and Q's here, Tony.
Well, it's just like you said, Terry. Look further back there, and there is a large group of carts behind those leaders. They are dicing it up. They are 2 wide, sometimes 3 wide, and all the while continuing to break momentum. They're making a bigger hole in the air, using more power to create drag, essentially, is kind of how that's going to work. And so they're losing time. Those top 2, Eubanks and Keaton, know they've still got a long way to go. They can see that scoreboard over in turn 2 that says 12 laps to go, and they know if they can just button it up, nose to tail, and draft each other to 2 or 3 laps to go, they're going to be set, and they can settle this amongst themselves. Otherwise, the ones behind them are going to continue to dice it up and try to race each other, but it's a half a straightaway advantage now for this top 2.
And if you saw right there, the 85 got under the 82 and the 18S. Sullivan got washed up the racetrack and allowed 2 drivers to move him out of P number P4 or P3. The 8 of Gonya got there as well. So that is a net loss of 3 spots in 1 lap for Sullivan there in the 18S as the battle for the race lead still continues to heat up here. I'm sort of kind of curious if the 10 of Keaton is just going to wait for the last lap to make this pass because, well, the 28E has been the strongest kart. We're going to come to under 10 laps to go. It'll be 9 when they cross the start-finish line, and they'll cross it right now. Low lane is the best lane for these karts. They're shortest way around. They're doing their best deal here this afternoon. And if you have not subscribed to PitRoad.tv, our free preview is going to end after the Champ Karts is over. I do believe. So it's up to Tony over here sitting next to me. How we run at Champ Karts is over.
The mods are next.
The mods are next. So if you want to watch the show of what the Carolina Modifieds and the Carolina Pro Late Models have on store for us here this afternoon, subscribe to PitRoad.tv. You can catch the on-demand and live. So,
hey, Terry, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but watching the lap times, the last handful of laps, Hunter Gonya, that 8 kart, back in 3rd spot. He and Jonah Lind are both reeling in this top pair, and you see him slam drafting down the backstretch. They are reeling them in now with 7 to go. They've been reeling them in at the rate of about 0.2 a lap. I'm not the best at math, but if that continues, that's enough to catch them on the white flag lap.
Well, they have to get around the 13 of Rochelle as well, who's currently sitting 9th, 1 lap down. They had to go to the outside down the back straightaway for that one. You see the leaders on your screen. Not too far back. I'm not great at math either. 5 laps to go. Maybe my mom's watching. She'll text me and tell me how good my math skills are. Tandem and drafting. They have not lost lock here from the 8 of Gonya and the 85 of Lind. That time by, well, our leaders decided, they wanted to be fast that time.
That traffic, I think, may have been the deciding factor. They took too long to get around the slower traffic and lost about 0.4 of a second. Now there's only 4 laps remaining, and that time by, they were about 0.2 faster with the second pair, but 0.2 of a second when you're 1.6 seconds back and 4 laps to go, not going to be enough.
It only sounds like 0.8 to me, so I don't know if that's perfect math. Somebody in the crowd can nod.
Pass the word problem test.
Something like that. It's in it. It's going to be 3 laps to go. Eubanks just crossed the start-finish line with Keaton in the number 10, sitting in P2. Gonya in 8th. Lind in 4th in the 85. And the other Keaton in the number 20. That's Herbert Keaton. That sits in at P number 5. We'll come to 2 laps to go for the 28E of Eubanks. Can he hold off? He has a decent lead. We'll see what he can do as he is currently out front by a mere.
Well, it's a lot
bit.
now.
It's now because the 10 had an issue in the corner, and now we're going to have a battle for second as the 2 cars.
This might not be over. That second pairing, they have got a huge run, but they've got a lot of real estate to make up. 1 lap to go. White flags out. The fight definitely for second, possibly for the win if they can get this figured out very quickly.
Here comes Eubanks in the 28E. That is the win. 3 wide for second as we're going to roll down the back straightaway. We'll see the 28E of Eubanks through 3 and 4 to the start-finish line. Eubanks gets it. It is a photo finish for second. Looks right now. Keaton gets it in the 10. Gonya, Lind, and Keaton in the 20. Rounds out your top 5.
So Josh Eubanks going to have a quick word with Terry Radford down trackside, after which we'll conclude our free preview here on social media. If you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or wherever it is, hit the share button, tag your buddies, your friends, let them know what's going on. And, if you're in the region or within the sound of our voice, you can get here tonight, well, I would make the trip over to New River All-American Speedway. Still plenty of racing to go. Bombers, the U-Cars, the Carolina Crate Modifieds are up next for their portion of the Angry Ginger Irish Pub, Carolina 207. And, of course, the Carolina Pro Late Model Series, the headlining series here tonight, for their 100-lap feature. So Josh Eubanks going to get the gloves off, get the helmet removed, climb out of that multicolored entry down in Victory Lane, and have a chance to chat with Terry Radford, first victor of the night here at the New River All-American Speedway.
wait for the 28 to get out here, and I hear from the crew chief here had to convince Mr. Eubanks to come down and race here. Well, you won the race, and you did it in dominating fashion. You led every lap. How'd it feel out there?
I was just waiting for him to come and train me, but yeah, it was a blast. I want to thank Ashley for pushing me when she could, and I want to thank Lady Nate's Track Service, 252 Detail, Rodney Wood Racing Engines, Top Priority Livestock Service, my dad, my girlfriend, everybody that helped me.
Congratulations on your win here tonight. That's the 25 of Mr. Eubanks. We'll slide back here to P number 2 as Ashley Keaton pushed the mess out of this car. And you wouldn't let anybody get around you. You had a little bit of a fight on your own. Wait for your helmet to come off. But you had a fight there for P2. Not too crazy. A little heart drop for a lot of fans that are watching on Pit Road TV and for the people in the stands. Last couple laps, what was that like?
Well, you know, the whole drafting thing is really new to me, so Josh kept asking me to push him, and every time I hit him, I'd be like, all right, I got this, and I got a little bit loose, and then towards the end, he just got out in front of me. I just lost it. So, but we ran a nice, clean race, and I'd love to thank my whole crew, my husband, who actually was in the wreck at the very beginning, my other teammate, Marty, one of my sponsors, Twin Rivers. God, this is fun. And I'd like to thank my dad, who is actually our owner and biggest sponsor of all. So thank you so much.
Well, I think that's all that matters is you have fun, and congrats. Give it up there for Ashley Keaton as we step back here with the aid of Hunter Gonya. Yeah, I made sure I said that one right. And Hunter, you got P3 there, and you took a lot to get around to actually catch back up to try to make a run at second. What was it like having to make that time up with the drafting partner that you had?
Jonah was a really great partner. I mean, I just tried to keep the same line, hit my marks every single lap. I guess that's really all it takes, and some good equipment. Just, good help is really all you need on asphalt, to be honest. I want to thank Trey Mishu for the motors, Speedy Webb for giving me a ride out here. I usually race dirt, and this is just something I do whenever I can, and it's really good to get my first top 3.
Well, congratulations on your top 300, Gonya. We appreciate you. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for your top 3. We're going to get ready for some Carolina modifieds. We'll pass it back up to Tony Stevens in the booth there at Pit Road TV.
Thank you, Terry. And that will conclude our free preview on social media. If you are on the Facebooks or the YouTubes or Twitter is being Twitter right now while they're overhauling the code. We're not on Twitter at the moment. Twitch, we are on Twitch. We're all over the place. So if you're watching on there, that's going to conclude it. And you see the modifieds lined up, including a pair of Baldwin brothers set to go in this 62-lap Carolina Crate Modified Series feature. There's been some fantastic racing so far this season. In fact, most recently, this group was up at the Franklin County Speedway just, I guess that was actually last weekend. Man, time flies sometimes. But that was a great show as well. These guys always love going there. And, of course, the Pro Lates and the mods going back to Franklin County later this summer in July. But if you're watching on socials, that'll do it. If you want to watch the rest of this one, you got to dial us in at the address at the bottom of your frame, www.pitrow.tv. Until then, we'll see you folks on the flip side as the modifieds are set to go while Terry makes his way back up to the tower.